You're watching the Dallas Cowboys Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tom Downey, and we are discussing two quarterback tryouts the Cowboys are doing this weekend during rookie minicamp. First up, the name you've probably heard of, at least if you follow college football here. JT Barrett, the former Ohio State quarterback who has bounced around the NFL, mostly with preseason and training camp rosters with the Saints and the Seahawks and the Steelers as well. They are giving him a tryout opportunity because, well, they didn't draft a quarterback. Ben DiNucci can't go to rookie minicamp, so they need a camp arm, more or less. And maybe Barrett impresses. He has not been very impressive in the preseason. In limited playing time, it is not good. 6 of 14, 63 yards, 2 interceptions. There was a reason that the Ohio State quarterback went undrafted. He's not a great thrower of the football. His numbers looked pretty good at Ohio State as last year, 2017, 64.6%, over 3,000 yards, 35 scores, 9 interceptions. The rushing numbers were good as well, but those were very much juiced by being involved in the offense that he was for Ohio State. Was very easy, quarterback friendly. It was not translatable to the NFL game, and that's why he's still hanging out there as a kind of sort of free agent guy. He has not played an NFL game that made him eligible for the rookie minicamp, unlike Ben DiNucci. But the Cowboys also brought in an undrafted free agent quarterback they're going to give a look to during this rookie minicamp this weekend. That is Brady Davis out of Illinois State. And I don't know about you guys, FCS, Illinois, undrafted free agent quarterback. You guys know who I'm talking about. Don't even get your hopes up, though. And I don't love to box score scout. It's not normally a good idea. But at the FCS level, if you can't complete 55% of your passes over your career, I don't really know what we're doing. Davis has torn his ACL twice. The last time we saw him in a season 2019 because he opted out of 2020. I mean, this is not good. So I think truly in the end, especially with Brady Davis, this reeks of camp arm. Now, I'm pretty sure the Cowboys had met with Davis pre-draft, so I'm not overly surprised as one of their rookie camp invites to just have somebody throwing the football to those undrafted free agent wide receivers out there. But if they impress, they could find their way onto the 90-man roster. And the Cowboys would have to release somebody to get one of those guys, either JT Barrett or Brady Davis, on the roster. They have 4 quarterbacks right now. Dak Prescott, Garrett Gilbert, the Nooch himself, Ben DiNucci, and Cooper Rush. And if you forgot that Cooper Rush was on the team, that's okay. I kind of did at one point early this offseason as well. It happens to us. So could one of those guys maybe beat out Cooper Rush? Probably not Ben DiNucci. Like, Ben DiNucci was better at the FCS level than Brady Davis ever was. So Davis is definitely the long shot here. But assuming that Dak Prescott is quarterback 1, Gilbert's quarterback 2 right now, find a quarterback 3 for me. Is it one of the guys already on the roster? If you think it's the Nooch, type in 1. If you want to roll with Cooper Rush, type in 4. Is it JT Barrett or Brady Davis, the 2 new guys the Cowboys are bringing in for a tryout? You can type in 2 for JT Barrett, or you can type in 3 for Brady Davis. I lean 1. That's not saying much of anything, but that's the route I would lean there. So get your votes in for me, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's talk rumors now on the Dallas Cowboys Report. We're back with Richard Sherman once again, despite my best efforts here. Keeps getting footed out there by media. I'm still going to give it the 1 star. I am open to the idea, and I'm not ruling it out altogether. But I think there are a lot of, if this happens, then it could maybe be an option. Number one reason why I think that this is a bit unlikely relative to where we stood pre-draft, the Cowboys took 2 cornerbacks in the top 100. Now, they were not a round 1 corner, but those are 2 guys who are going to make your team. Now, I do think Richard Sherman would be a fantastic veteran mentor for those younger corners, and it's a pretty young cornerback room overall. The guy we saw in 2020 on the field, though, not nearly as good as the guy we saw in 2019. Now, we know he's a scheme fit. He's also a scheme fit for teams like the Jets, who are in even more desperate need of cornerback help than the Dallas Cowboys are. So I am at least open to the idea of adding Richard Sherman, putting him on this team, letting him be cornerback 2, and then maybe moving to safety a year from now or something along those lines. So get your votes in. Do you want to sign Richard Sherman? Type Y for yes or type in N for no. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Now, the big reason why I think there's an issue here is it's simple math, which I'm not great at, but I can count here. Trevon Diggs, he's making the team. That's 1. Kelvin Joseph, he's making it. That's 2. They just paid Jordan Lewis. That's 3. Nashawn Wright's making it. That's 4. Already locks on the roster. C.J. Goodwin's going to make it as a special teams ace there. Is Reggie Robinson playing corner or is he playing safety? If he's playing safety, well, that frees up 1 cornerback spot. Are you keeping Anthony Brown? I would say it's more likely than not, but it's a possibility the Cowboys move on for him. So if you trade Anthony Brown, if you put Reggie Robinson at safety, well, those are your 2 ifs to where, okay, now Sherman could start to make some sense. But those are, I think, 2 fairly significant ifs. Oh, also, there's Maurice Canady, who, whatever, but he's also on the team as well. So the numbers game doesn't add up right now for me with Richard Sherman, and then you can throw in the whole Jerry Jones comments that Sherman made, and maybe it's not the most likely outcome in the end. And we've talked about plenty with NFL free agency and Richard Sherman on our Chat Sports YouTube channel. If you love the NFL, if you want to know what's going on around the rest of the other 31 teams, not just the Dallas Cowboys, go subscribe. Link is at the bottom of your screen. It'll be in the comments and the description as well. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's stick with some cornerback talk here. Is Kelvin Joseph, the second-round pick out of Kentucky, going to start week 1? For the time being, I'm going to give this one 2 stars. And you've seen on our depth charts I put him at cornerback 2. But that's a hopeful outcome and a projection, I guess is the term I'll use there. Joseph is talented. Boss man Fat's got game on the outside, all right? He's also profoundly inexperienced. 15 career games, I think it's like 9 or 10 starts. He's very raw. But remember, there's the investment that's been made here. The Cowboys would love nothing more than for Joseph to win this job and to make it clear, hey, I'm cornerback 2. It's me and Diggs on the outside for the next 5-10 years, whatever. There's been some up and down moments because he's inexperienced. He played great against Tennessee, great against Alabama, wasn't as good against Florida. There's some boneheaded mental mistakes on film. 4 touchdowns allowed, also 4 interceptions. I think he'll be more committed than he was kind of down the stretch Kentucky, where his coaching staff told him, hey, it's time to go, get out of here, go opt out because you're not giving an effort. But I think there is talent there. The number 1 competitor in the end for Kelvin Joseph to start is Anthony Brown, at least based on this roster, because Jordan Lewis is a nickel or maybe a safety on this team. The Anthony Brown we saw last year was not great. Now, he did make some plays on the football, and that's valuable to me, and I think for everyone else watching out there. But he's not really a number 2. Anthony Brown is better served being a 3-4. That's what he is in the NFL. And if we're being honest, that's how he's being paid as well with this current Cowboys contract. So Joseph, I think, will be a contender for that starting gig. This is the regime, the coaching staff and front office that drafted him. Unlike, say, a Reggie Robinson, for example, where the coaching staff is different now, and he was a front office pick anyway. Clearly, the Cowboys are hoping, they are optimistic, and they want Kelvin Joseph to win that job. Is he going to win it week 1? Maybe, maybe not. Trevon Diggs didn't really become a full-time, every-down player until a couple weeks into the year. Hopefully, a more full preseason camp schedule will benefit guys like Kelvin Joseph. So make your predictions for me, or not predictions, your desires known, I should say. Should Kelvin Joseph start in week 1? Type A for yes, he should, or type in B for nah, he should not. Let's chat Ezekiel Elliott now. Is a bounce-back season coming? I'm going to be optimistic here. I'm going to say 3 stars on this one. Now, at some level, it also kind of can only go up, right? Like Zeke's coming off the worst year of his career. The 2020 campaign, simply put, was bad for Zeke. Things just did not go the way anybody involved wanted them to. The fumbles were an issue earlier in the year. Injuries on the offensive line and the quarterback impacted Zeke pretty heavily. And in the end, he doesn't get to 1,000 yards, and he averages only 4 yards per carry. Substantially lower than what we've seen from Zeke over his NFL career. And what's troubling here is a downward trend that we've noticed, even just in terms of pure yards. Yeah, there was the only 10 games played in 2017, so 1,000 yards would have been hit there if he wasn't suspended. But 1,600 over 100 yards per game, and then 1,400 and some change, 1,200 and some change there. So I'm trying to be bullish on Zeke here. Over or under? Does he get to 1,400 rushing yards in the 2021 season? If you think the answer is over, type in O. If you think the answer is under, type in U. I think it is very possible that Zeke reaches this figure if things go right for the Cowboys, but it is, at least I believe, a pretty lofty expectation. The one thing we need to see the Cowboys do, and everyone watching needs and wants to see out of Zeke Elliott, is better efficiency. 5.1 yards per carry his first year was awesome. And then 2017 was a weird year. You can cross that off kind of as an asterisk there. But 2018, 4.7. 2019, 4.5. 2020, 4.0 flat. That is regression. And not only that, that is significant regression. Now, it's not just Zeke's fault. But I think what we saw in the past was, Zeke, I thought, did a great job in 2020 of being able to turn -1 or -2 yard gains into 1 or 2 yard gains. But the big plays very much dried up. The one big play he had, he also fumbled on. But part of the reason why I think Zeke's going to be better this year is twofold, beginning with his offensive line. In theory, fingers crossed, knock on wood, all of it, it's going to be healthier. Tyron Smith is going to be back in play, let's just say 14 games or 13 games. La'el Collins will be in better shape and not have a hip issue this time around. Zach Martin will be back to full form. Connor Williams will continue to show his upward growth, or maybe Connor McGovern wins a job and you're fine there. Tyler Biadasz takes over that starting center job. If the O-line is healthy, Zeke's going to do better. That's something I think we all agree with on in the end. And on top of that, the quarterback's back. And that matters almost as much as the offensive line does as it relates to Zeke Elliott. Because when Andy Dalton was back there, the teams really feared Dalton taking deep shots downfield. No, because Dalton wouldn't do them even when they were open. With Dak Prescott there and that high-powered passing game with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb, I think it will allow the box to be a little bit lighter. And when you can spread them out with 11 personnel, 3 receivers, that also lightens the box. You don't have to use 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends to help pass protect even at times. You can go shotgun and run your inside zone and your guard tackle counters and all that stuff there and have a better matchup for Zeke. So a healthy offensive line and a healthy quarterback, I think, will lead to a much more productive Zeke Elliott in 2021.